Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Brian, and I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas movies. But that's Garland for you, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Ba ba bum 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 ba bum. Hello, everybody. How are we today? Hi.
Oh, man.
How are we today?
So good.
Did you guys have a good Halloween?
Great Halloween,
Yeah?
Brian. How about you?
Did you get a lot of candy?
My kids had more candy than they knew what to do with. But we do the thing where we set them down, we dump all the candy out, and we're like, go to town. And once they're done, that's it.
A day at one time?
We can't do the Brian Harold save everything all the time.
Save
bit.
everything all the time.
Brian's
put
a big
that put that over there.
Yeah, Brian doesn't want to throw anything away ever around here.
Some-
Yeah,
most
I
of
let
the
my kids go to town, and then I also go
And
to
you
town.
also
That's right.
go
And
to
then I chuck it.
Well, I don't chuck
Whoa.
it. Just more candy for me later.
I mean,
Yeah.
by the time they go to town, then I go to town. There's not much left but the bad stuff, right?
The wrappers.
You know, nobody wants any malt balls.
I don't
you know
want
what
your,
I mean, or
I don't
whatever.
want your
I'll take a
butter.
couple
I don't want your
balls.
Butterfingers.
You'll take a malt ball.
I'll eat them all. Like a Whopper?
Like a Whopper.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I have like one Whopper a year.
Probably
Milk
three.
Dud. Yeah, Whopper, no
No.
chance. No
What's the
chance.
difference between a milk dud and a Whopper?
A Milk Dud's caramel.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
that's why I don't like it.
yeah.
I think I'd take a
Whopper
Raisinette
is-
over a Milk Dud.
You'll take a Raisinette over a Milk Dud? You're
Yeah.
not American.
And a Whopper over a Raisinette.
Wow.
All right,
that
keep
is a
going.
hierarchy.
What do you got over a
What do you
Whopper?
got
Over a Whopper? I mean, Hershey, a little kiss. I think Kit Kat is the number one.
They're not called Lil Kisses.
Kit Kat is the number. He held it like this, like it was in his hand,
I
and he
got
put it
right.
at the top.
I'm moving it right up to the top shelf.
Kit
That's
Kat's
not
number
moving.
one
Yeah,
for
that,
you.
that won't be kicked out at the top spot.
Man.
Yeah.
What?
Raisinette.
Kit Kat
Yeah.
number one?
The
I
mini,
asked-
like the mini one.
Oh my
you know, the
gosh,
smallest
this is
one.
just this take is scalding.
The chocolate to wafer ratio in the minis.
Perfect.
Is perfect. It
Man,
is, yeah.
Raisinette. Get
Over
out of
and
here,
out, yeah.
fake candy.
Do people hand out Raisinets at Halloween?
No,
I mean,
only old people and just sinister sociopaths.
Yeah. The
Give the
people who
kids
bought
raisins.
the candy late. The people who buy candy day of probably get the raisin.
Werther's Original and Raisinettes.
Oh,
Kit Kat's number one.
yeah, yeah.
Right?
Dude,
He's
my-
trying to defend you. He can't do
my
it.
favorite candy. What do you put above?
It's your favorite candy?
It is a Kit Kat. Yeah.
Like more than like Skittles?
yes.
Starburst?
Yes, all day.
What?
Oh yeah.
Brian, even
Yeah.
even
I'm
the
a chocolate.
folks,
I like chocolate more than candy. You know.
even the folks that think I bully you are going to take my side on
Are
this.
they coming over to your side?
I mean, Kit
Yeah,
Kat
man.
number one
oh yeah, for
That
years,
is a
for my whole
choice.
life, as far as I can remember.
for my whole life.
Yep.
Man,
I remember being a kid, and just my dream was to get a king size Kit Kat at the grocery store with my mom going shopping.
did you ever do it when you
when you
know,
get older? And
yeah.
I can't. No, you know it's funny. I really don't buy a lot of cake. I only eat the Kit Kats that are like leftover Halloween or they're given to me. I don't go out and buy candy.
Yeah, now that you
So-
can whenever you want.
Right, right. Kind of like pie for dinner.
Youth is wasted on the young. Am I right?
That's what they say.
So you don't buy your favorite candy like as a treat yourself?
Just treat myself? No. Can't
Brian doesn't do that. Brian lives a responsible life.
Oh, you know what
Brian.
I do? I take that back. The times that I do, it's around Christmas time, and I buy the Christmas-themed Kit Kats, and I
Yeah.
throw them in the back seat of the car so they're nice and cold all the time, and then when I'm driving to and fro,
That's going to bite you here in South Carolina, Brian. Just
It's
letting you
just
know.
not going to get cold,
To-
are they?
Tuesday, today, the high is almost 80.
Yep. This is a problem for the backseat Kit Kat.
You can't do the backseat Kit Kat.
I saw backseat Kit Kat.
Dude, so good.
The best. The best.
Oh, my goodness. The accordion didn't even throw me off at all.
They broke up halfway through the
It's
concert.
unbelievable.
usually
Yeah,
do.
full fight on stage.
But they, they came back.
They came back around for the encore. That's right.
You guys ready to talk about Cozy Christmas Inn?
Cozy Christmas Inn. Yes, I am. I thought for some reason there was a little in there, like a little cozy
A
Christmas.
little. I think you're thinking about Brian when he called them little
The
kisses.
little Kit Kats.
We said little kisses too.
A kiss?
I like a little
kiss?
kiss.
Kit Kat at the top.
Cozy Christmas Inn originally
Little
aired on October 28th, 2022, and it went a little something like this. Erica with a K.
Okay.
As in Kit Kat.
As in Kit Kat.
At the top.
Her friends call her Kit Kat. Is a real estate gal, and her boss wants to send her to Garland, Alaska. We've heard that before.
Garland? The Garland,
We've heard
Alaska?
of that. To look into getting a cozy Christmas inn. Oh. Is the inn for sale? No. But
Depends on the ask.
Everything.
her
for
boss wants her to buy the inn by Christmas. Why by Christmas?
Because.
She calls her friend and it's like, I have to go buy an inn and it's in Garland. And she's like, uh-oh, Garland? And Erica's like, yeah, Garland. And
That Garland?
we apparently, somebody named Andy is there. We actually know Andy.
We do.
We do. Cut to Garland. We see Andy, who looks very familiar, almost like he was in another movie, you know, a decade ago. It takes all of 5 seconds for him to say that's Garland for you, which I think is 5 seconds too long, personally. I actually applauded him when he said
Yeah.
it.
I mean, come on.
I was happy to be back in Garland, to say the least. We see some bills are past due on the inn, because that's Garland for you. She gets to Alaska and he realizes that it's her after she helps him finish putting on a shark Christmas sweater. That's a sentence, don't ask, but that's how they see each other for the first time. They start talking, and I would put their spark meter on the awkward spark meter when they first get back together.
So you would put their spark meter on a separate spark meter altogether called the awkward spark meter.
Yes.
You wouldn't rate it as awkward.
It's like a filter
You would
apply.
take
So
their
I'm like
meter.
trying to put them on a spark meter. I can't do this. Give me their meter. I'm going to put it on a separate meter, which is the awkward spark
Okay,
meter, and
great.
they're off the charts there.
Yeah.
meter
makes
on meter
sense.
situation.
It's a meter
Yes.
on meter, so I'm live. But they hang out some more. Things are starting to feel good again. They're getting coffee, not a cappuccino. Talks about what happened with them in Seattle, all while Erica tries to figure out how to buy the inn. He, at first, is not super on board with buying the inn, but once he sees a number that we don't get to see nor hear, he becomes much more receptive to the idea. Guys, what do you think that number was? Let's all say it on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
$10,000.
$17. What'd you say?
3 dozen.
You said 3,000. You said 10,000?
3 dozen.
3 dozen.
3 dozen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said $10,000.
Great. I said 17. So we're all shooting for the stars
That's
here.
right.
Speaking of stars, he takes her.
What a segue.
I know. I know.
Did we do
That's
this in
going to the
show prep?
podcast Hall of
Guys.
Fame.
Man,
That's
all-timer.
going right next
we
to
can cut
cereal.
all this out
Yeah.
because it just act like it's normal, right? But like
right.
that's above what you do normally,
Yeah.
right? Like
The
even
amount
for you.
of the amount of stuff that we have in the podcast Hall of Fame right next to cereal is
it's crazy.
it's crazy. But
Now
that's
that
definitely
Adnan's
It's all
out. Like
yeah.
that's over though.
That's that. We
Moved
actually
into the
get
back room.
we actually get cereal spot.
Wow.
I know.
We finally made it.
Call me Captain Crunch. You guys like that?
Not as good as your star, but it'll work.
Guys, Justin, we're out of the
We
podcast.
just
Hall of Fame.
we're
lost
out?
all of it.
Dadgummit. So he takes her to the observatory. He has a giant telescope. He took one of those old, like, what do you call those things? Corn rooms?
The silo. if you
Silo.
will,
A silo.
AKA the corn.
Also known as a corn
And
room.
as long as you do this, like you're swirling
like a-
the world's biggest glass of wine. Yeah. What do you call that?
I smell hints
a
of
corn room.
Corn maze.
husks. There's a big old
Before you move
telescope.
forward, I
Go
did
ahead.
see hints of Husk live.
Yeah?
And they were absolutely out of bounds.
Yeah.
2 upright basses on the
Oh my
same
gosh.
stage.
Did they duel?
They do. Of
Okay.
course they
Oh,
do.
I would hope so.
They're spinning the whole thing.
Now they're in the corn home, looking at the giant telescope, looking at Neptune, and
Why is it on us?
Yeah, that's a great question.
and
There
they're
we go.
getting ready to kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I say, there's no way something's going to interrupt them in the corn home.
Not in the corn home.
And
Silo.
nothing interrupts them.
And they do it.
kiss.
Yeah.
We're like halfway through the movie. They
You're in a
kiss.
solar observity.
Yeah.
Yeah. What could possibly interrupt you?
Nothing.
This side of Armageddon.
Shooting star.
That's right.
Shooting star.
Did you see that?
Did you see that?
Now, everybody has been joking throughout this time that, like, she keeps being like, what does your dad actually do? There's talk of elves. They're very much like, he's Santa. Very much just saying it. We know the truth. But she's just kind of like, ha, 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 funny. So he tells her that he's broke. You don't have any money. This inn is bringing in no money, which is not something you want to say when selling your inn for an amount of money that makes you consider selling the inn.
That's right.
But he says it anyways.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
bringing in any money. And she's like, I got an idea. What if we market this inn to be both cozy and Christmassy?
Whoa. Whoa.
Right? A cozy Christmas
This is
inn.
unbelievable.
We can advertise the crap out of that. Where it's going to be ready to go. So they come up with a couple of events. He installs a coffee shop, and they put a bunch of Christmas decorations up. They send some stuff out to some people. They get written up, and by golly, people start showing up. They have a mixer. She shows up in a dress, and he's like, wow, a girl like you in a dress like that in a place like this on a day like that? Boy. She tells him that if he sells, she'll get a promotion, but he'll lose his dream. So it's kind of like the gift of the Magi. It's like a comb, but I don't have my hair anymore. Is that it? No?
Yeah.
So it's Christmas. It's Christmas Eve, and she shows up. They go outside. They exchange gifts. He gifts her a star, which is a nice gift. Here's a star. It's named Erica. She gives him the inn. You're not going to sell the inn. You get to keep the inn. I'm actually going to quit my job. I'm going to move here to Garland, and we're going to make this inn the best thing this side of the Mississippi. They kiss and they look up at the moon and they see Santa flying by and Andy says, "That's Garland for you. We love that." He keeps on flying. They keep on kissing. And that, my friends, was a cozy Christmas Inn.
We did it.
We did do it, everybody. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to break this episode down, this movie down on this episode with 4 segments here on Deck the Hallmark. Very good.
Yeah, we did.
Way to start the week. We're back, everybody. We're talking about A Cozy Christmas Inn, the first movie of the second weekend of the 21st countdown to I don't know.
Yep.
But we are moving right along here. Movie number 5. Let's start with the first segment. Let's start with a hot take, and let's start with a guy who has been giving hot takes for quite a few months now.
That's right.
Is gaining quite the reputation of being a guy who gives okay takes with ridiculous antidotes. Let's give it up for my good
When
friend
you
Brian.
say antidotes, is there a poison?
Are we talking
in
we
his
got
hot take?
antibiotics here?
Anecdotes. Antidotes.
Antidotes, maybe.
It helps a poison, Brian.
The
Sounds
poison.
about right.
The poison is
It's a bad take.
It's
And
a
I
bad
have the
take.
antidote.
And you have the antidote, which
Yep.
is this take. Brian, what do you think
Yeah.
about A Cozy
So this
Christmas Inn? Have you seen Christmas Under Wraps?
I don't think I saw the whole thing all the way through. I did.
What does that mean?
I don't think I
I don't
watched
think I saw the whole thing all the way through.
Yeah, I think I've seen clips, little bits and
Okay.
pieces. I did go back and listen
You've
to
seen
your
clips.
Yeah,
How?
maybe it's been on, you
What do
know,
you-
and I was
okay.
like, oh, look at here we go. But I
In
haven't.
between his bird sounds he's listening to 6 hours
I mean,
a day.
It's hard to keep up with what's on TV.
Would recommend.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
The movie.
Right.
Yeah.
I did listen to
In
your
full.
episode, your review of it.
Okay,
You-
recently?
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
This
in
morning I
preparation.
finished it, yeah.
That's
wow.
Garland for you.
That is going on.
How
for it.
was it?
It was a good episode.
What did we say?
You said Dan actually liked it for what it was, for
Wow.
the ridiculousness of it, and everybody seemed to be pretty much on board with
Okay,
it. You
great.
said it was your favorite CCB movie you had seen
That's
to
right.
date. I don't know if you've seen more.
Yeah,
so-
I had not seen Journey Back to Christmas yet, which would be the only one that I would maybe have ahead of this one. Although it's a toss-up with those two. I think those are her 2 best movies.
Yeah, so it was.
Yeah, it is bonkers new.
Yeah,
There's no doubt
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, and Panda had some good takes in there too, as he usually did. So I felt like I had a good foundation for watching this one and reviewing this one. And this one, I can't even try to sugarcoat it. This was great. This is my favorite movie of the season so far. Number 1 for me. I had a blast with this one. I love the ensemble feel. It sort of reminded me of State and Maine a little bit, hanging out in the diner a lot.
Okay.
Everybody kind of had like little quirks about them that contributed to just the vibe of the town, and it felt like a fun place to be. I really like how everybody knew she was the real estate tycoon, and they didn't play it off like there was going to be some shock, like she was going to come. Everybody's like, "Oh no, she's here to ruin the town." Everybody knew who she was and what she was there for, and so Jody went from TGIF to TGFY, and we're all better for it.
What's TGFY?
That's Garland for you.
Yes.
He did it, everybody.
How was she originally TGIF?
Full House.
Oh, I see what. Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah, it was really well done.
TGFY, man.
That's Garland.
You worked hard on that. How long did that take you?
Dude, that just came to me one time.
That just came to me one time. Haven't seen all of it in its entirety all the way through to the end of the credits.
That's right. But that came to me.
TGFY, that's Garland for you.
That's Garland for
That was really
That's
good.
how it happens in Garland. It's Garland for
Can't
you.
explain that. anymore.
Yes, I really did quite enjoy this movie. It was good to be back in Garland. I love Garland. I love the cast of characters that make up Garland. I thought it was wonderful. I thought the end was great, and I love Jodie Sweetin. It's always a good time when she's around. I'm happy to see her back here on the Hallmark Channel. It's been a couple of holiday seasons since we've seen her last, so it's good to have her back. She's going to be on Lifetime this weekend, so she's busy so far this holiday season, which is great. Really like her, and listen, it is the best way to do a sequel because we get a new love story. Like it's exactly what I want. I do want to go back to Garland. I don't want a sequel of a relationship because that's just hard. Like it's hard to keep that going. Like look at the Father Christmas series. Like so. For me, it's the perfect. I like Garland is wonderful and magical, and I will go there like as much as possible. If they do it this way, I want my guy to keep going. Like he's just getting a new girl every Christmas.
Your middle school girlfriend. Is back around.
So yeah, big fun, and to the sweet ladies and all the Hallmark Facebook groups that I'm in that are saying that this ruined their idea of Hallmark Channel's perfect endings where they end up together forever and ever. I'm sorry, but I hope you liked it. With all that, I hope you did. Because this was pretty great.
So this is interesting because the movie's not like it is what it is. I think it's better than Christmas Under Wraps. I don't think either one are movies I would watch again. But I do need to pivot at this point to let you know why I think it's my favorite of the season so far.
Wow.
Here's why.
Wow.
It is because, and I may be overselling this because they did it so subtly. And they did such a good job with it that I'm not sure that everyone, maybe people did pick up on it, didn't think it was as big a deal as I did. But the undercurrent of this film, the thesis of this movie is people can change, even people in an old town that has done things the same way their whole life. And that was amazing. This town in the first movie is like, we only have milk and sugar for the coffee. And they do this coffee bit the whole time. That is not for laughs. That is to show you that even people in small towns in the middle of the nowhere can progress, can move forward, can grow, can accept new types of food and drink and people. And you know what? 2 thumbs up, Hallmark. That was amazing. Really well done. The movie would never watch again. Them taking the opportunity to take the movie that has more viewers live than any other movie they've ever shown to create a sequel where they go back to this town, and instead of having it just be the same old where everybody's got to adjust accordingly, everybody in this town has progressed, has moved on, has expanded, has tried new things. It's awesome. So for that and that alone, I sat shocked in front of my TV for a solid hour and 20 minutes while watching this. Couldn't believe that Hallmark had done this and done it as well as they had done it. Kudos to you. Wouldn't watch it again. Favorite of the year so far.
It's not my favorite of the year so far. It's for
Kismet.
And I have Noah Next Door above it. But
You have Noel Next Door above
guys,
this one.
I don't tell you. Yeah,
That is something.
that's Garland for you.
That's Garland for you.
It's time for the All the Feels part of the show where we talk about what in this movie gave us those feels. Bry Guy?
Yeah.
Bry Guy, the Hallmark guy.
Yeah, sure.
What's your All the Feels?
So I had funny feels from this one, like
Okay.
genuine funny feels. The Claire, who was sort of like the innkeeper assistant, she was really funny, the way that she was playing off of Andy. Martin's dry humor, him sticking around was great. I would have liked a little bit more of Martin. And Hattie, every scene with Hattie in the diner or wherever she was, I loved it. I thought that was really funny, and the humor worked really well. And didn't feel like they were trying really hard. It just was written really well.
The QR code back and forth was really funny.
I like that a lot too.
Yeah, that worked really well.
They just bounced around the room, and it was really good. So I thought, it really genuine funny feels. And the mid-movie kiss, I mean, that felt earned. It felt right. They didn't mess with it. It just happened. It was really good.
Yeah, I got multiple chuckles in this movie as well, which is always good. Kiss was fantastic. I genuinely I would prepare. I was preparing myself as I saw it coming. I was like a piece of corn's gonna fall on them or something because they're in the old
corn room.
house.
Yeah, the corn room. Yeah.
But that didn't. So I was here for that. And someone in the chat said this, and I'm with you on this. I'm happy that when they explained what happened to CCB, she wasn't dead. It just they could have easily been like, you know what? Let's just like have her die and him be a widow, and that will make everybody happy because it's not like things didn't end up. They still loved each other, but she died. No, that's not what happened. Like she chose work and she went and she did the fellowship thing, and so kudos to her for that, and so kudos to Hallmark for taking the hard road and not killing CCB.
Well, my feels is that, but the exact line was very, very just 10 of 10 for me. Here's the exact line. A big fellowship came her way, and I have to admit, I don't think she could fully commit to Garland. That's how they said it. And I thought that was, if you could craft it to where they're taking the high road, but also just being like, just FYI, that's what they did there. And I thought it was expertly done. As far as doing that and going back to this town, I thought that was expertly done.
Let's take one more quick break, and we'll come back with the Wait What and the What the Hallmark here on Deck the Hallmark on WLFO
Zero.
The Band.
UFOs.
Pretty sure we've already done WLFO.
I don't think so.
The band? We did that one already.
We've done the band.
And then
LFO.
you thought they only played LFO. Somebody thought that.
They must
Which
have
makes sense.
doubled down.
They doubled down.
They play us in the daytime and overnights.
Yeah, that's got to
Which
be.
is
the
wonderful.
overnights. Really
which
good.
is great.
It's good.
It's time for Wait What. We're talking about a cozy Christmas inn. Where there's some Wait What's to be found, let's find out.
So many.
Brian,
Yeah,
what you got, buddy?
I had a few. Her boss explaining to her in the beginning, she said the boss who wanted to buy the inn said that the inn owner every year invites kids up to the observatory on Christmas Eve, and he didn't do that in the movie. And
at
I
all.
think it was his first year
Yeah.
owning the inn.
It's
and
his first year. That's right.
And
It's like she was lying.
Yeah, it was almost like a lie to get her to go do it. And the boss kept calling, asking for reports, but also ending it with buy that inn. So, like, did she want reports so they could analyze the inn, or did she just wanted her to buy the inn? It sounded like she just wanted her to buy the inn. So why is she asking for reports? And to save the inn, they had a party. They posted online.
Yeah.
And they had a Secret Santa on Christmas Eve, and they linked to bigger blog sites.
Yeah.
And I just
It's
didn't
brutal.
feel like a lot.
Brutal.
And obviously the cafe, like, how?
No.
Like, where did the money? It was so ridiculous. I didn't even want to ask.
Found a whole other room.
That was made for this program. Like
Yeah.
that could be
Yes.
the entire Wait
the
What
whole thing.
segment and
I mean,
What the Hallmark
Not
segment.
only did they just like shuffle around, like even if they took shuffled around a room, like they had a double fridge where they had the coffee things. They
In a
had
day.
in a day.
And the
Overnight
guy
almost.
is over, like
No money.
completely overextended.
No
No
money.
money.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And so that I just was like, I mean, I have to mention it. You can't.
You
not.
can't, yeah, you have
not.
to.
Can't
You
not.
have to. You're
They did
legally-
it for that is a running metaphor in this movie. Like I know that sounds crazy because it was. Were you guys thinking that at all, or was that just me? The coffee being a metaphor. You guys weren't even
For
thinking
what?
That it wasn't
in
available.
the first movie, it's like the small town
I
is the way it
didn't see
always
the-
was, and so we're dealing with some viewers that want to have things the way they always were, and they're presenting a new Hallmark. And every time they talk coffee or food in this movie, the diner has all these new menu items, and they're terrible,
Yeah.
and people are like, "Well, it's for somebody," and they keep moving. And the coffee's like, "This is Garland's first cappuccino." Like that is 100% a metaphor. Hallmark did it on purpose, and so I hated
That's beautiful. I'm not ever thinking about
metaphorically.
that.
That didn't hit because I didn't see like the first
Oh,
one.
dude, when I saw it, I was like, "There's no way he built that
But
coffee
I
shop."
thought that was great how they kept. It felt really good that she kept shoving new food things in people's
Yeah.
mouth. That she was joking about the 2 sugar packet colors.
Yes, and then the same cast of people can change. Like I thought that was just way better than this movie deserved.
Yeah. I got a few things. At the beginning of the movie, her boss hands her a binder of things,
Yeah.
and there's like, a good bit of paper in there, but not enough to like she hands it to her and she goes, oh. No. So either there's like lead in that binder or Jodie Sweetin's dying. Like those are the only two options for how she responded with that amount of paper in that binder being handed to her, by a person. Santa here is talking to Andy. And he says, when you come work here, there's a corner office with your name on it. And my question, like, why maybe he should maybe he should work in the corner office instead of in the middle of the warehouse. Why is he in the middle of the warehouse if there's a corner office? He
likes to keep his eyes on
He likes to see it all. But when Andy comes to take over the business, you can work wherever. If corner office is for you, it's for you. We do have a completely open corner office with your name on it. I'll work out here though. So she's talking to her boss again, and her boss says, if we get this, if you're able to get the inn, we're going to be the next Hilton. We're going to be the next Marriott.
Yep.
And I just want to say, if the thing standing in front of them from becoming the next Hilton is whether or not they acquire an inn in Alaska.
That's right.
That takes 2 hours by car from the airport to get there. I don't know. Maybe pick any other inn. Any other inn.
Yes.
Because it's the least practical inn to buy. If having an inn that is in the snow and gives you nostalgia is going to make you the next Hilton.
And the fact that the emphasis is placed that this company can become Hilton by acquiring the Garland Inn, and they send someone that's never closed a deal before.
Yeah, that's a bold move.
No, that's not how that works at all.
She says to Andy at one point towards the end of this movie, that's Garland for you. He says, great, you picked up on it. It took me years to catch on to that. Mm-hmm. How? Yeah. How did it take you years to catch on to it's Garland for you? It took me years to catch on.
Is she saying that after like hiding the Santa thing?
What Santa thing?
So like after she learns about him actually being Santa.
No, she says something random and then she just says it's Garland for you. He's like, wow, good job. Yeah, it took me years to pick up on that. Which is just,
I mean, we picked it up on it in the first podcast episode after we watched the movie.
And my last one, he says, this is a running joke, but he says, I like to think that I'm a decent boyfriend. And she says, I'd say you're more like pretty good. Is it just me? Like in my mind, pretty good and decent are the same thing. It's the same thing, right? Yeah. Like so I don't know if pretty good in her mind is supposed to be worse or better than decent.
Pretty good 6.5 of 10.
So she's saying that pretty good is better than decent?
She was upgrading him over decent.
See, the way that she said it, I took it as she's trying to say, okay, don't give yourself that much credit.
Okay.
Oh, the way I heard it was.
But there's no way to know because they're the same thing.
There's no way to know.
They're the same thing.
You're not wrong.
Pretty good and decent. Yeah. It's a pretty good and decent. Yeah. Dana?
Love that Brian Doyle Murray is in this movie. That's Santa, Frank Holiday, whatever you want to call it. I love that he's still cracking away at those cookies, even though it gave him a heart attack, and it saved him from said heart attack in the first movie. Crazy to me, and I would assume there's health issues around the fact that he could just do all of his scenes in one spot.
The middle of the
but
warehouse.
The fact that Santa Claus has a desk, not like Santa's there's a warehouse with stuff everywhere, and they bring out a giant desk.
And he's got a computer.
And a computer. Where's that plugged into? He's not near any outlet. He's in the middle of a warehouse. Does the Christmas magic extend to the computer and the internet there?
Yes.
And the phone line, like the whole, like all of it. That was impressive. And not only that, but Santa, turns out, is a for-profit capitalist who thinks if you can get a good deal on selling this in, you should do it, make a few bucks. That's what Santa's all about in this movie, apparently, which is great. He's the only guy that hasn't progressed.
His 401k is taking a hit.
That's right. Maybe the first sign you were going to take a financial bath on this inn was that you handmade every inn table and door in the establishment, Brian Donnell. Look, unless you're charging $10,000 a night, you're losing on this deal. That's a lot of time and money. She does give her a binder full of stuff. That binder is not weigh as much as an anvil. But it does have a lot of stuff in it.
Sure.
It takes her days before she cracks it open. I mean, she's in Garland days before she opens it. And then when she decides to start doing some of this, I guess she can't text her boss because she chooses to select 2 pictures out and send them via Gmail.
Yeah.
Which, for anyone older than us, is the slowest way to get that done. There are many other ways to do it that aren't that. Emails can only hold a few pictures at a time. Figure that out and don't do it that way ever. I love that he is committed to keeping the fact that the inn is failing a secret. Like, he doesn't want anybody in Garland to know that it's a secret. I have news for you, buddy. No one's there. They all know.
Everybody knows.
It's not like you're in retail and you can tell them you got a bunch of clients from out of town. If the parking lot is empty and the inn is empty, people know that you're failing at the job. Like, you don't have to try to like act like you're really getting it done when you're not. And then to get people excited about the inn, they do put up flyers around town, which I like. That's a classic. Yeah. Like, people are already in town. They're not staying at the inn in town. You dummy. Holy fake Christmas song soundtrack. I mean, there are 6 songs in this movie that don't exist. Like, I tried to Shazam them, and finally my phone just exploded. It just burst into flames. Like, literally none of them came up with an actual song title. It's just public domain music with Christmas behind it. And you know what? God bless them for doing
Christmas is fun.
That's right.
Have
Christmas
a good
time.
day.
That's right.
Here is some snow.
That's it. You sang the whole track
Hey,
for
hey,
it.
hey.
And I have to admit, even though it is very obvious, that once again, somehow, both in 2014 and in 2022, we have the balmiest Alaska winter of all time. I mean, it is a downright sauna out there.
Sauna.
I mean, it is just, you could borderline short sleeve it if you needed to. So
Yeah.
there you go.
But her boots, impractical.
Yeah.
Let's get to what the Hallmark Spark Show we wonder what could have been. Maybe having some clear questions we still have. Brian?
So in the kitchen scene, when she did throw back that's garland
for you.
In the background, there was a small sink, and it was dripping the entire time of their conversation. And it drove me crazy. And I'm just like, nobody noticed this, that they should turn off the water. But then I thought, maybe they leave it on so the pipes don't freeze, because sometimes that's what you do.
That's
when
what you do.
You let the water drip a little bit. So I want to know, was that intentional or not? Was that to kick up the authenticity of the cold environment? Or you like that? I thought, let's go catch some fire over here real quick. I'm all paranoid. So that was one that just drove me nuts. And then the financing, just everything
if a faucet's
about
dripping, it's dripping. There's nothing I can do about that. It would drive
That's
me
right.
nuts.
That's right.
Like, if our roof was leaking,
Yeah, if
like,
there was water coming down,
it would be like unbearable.
Probably like throw a tin under it to collect the water.
Cookie tin, maybe.
But yeah, the financing. So he sold his plane. He got his down payment. His dad is the only investor, maybe, threw some money in. Like, did he just pay for renovations? Is he a part owner? Like, I was really confused by the financing of it and how it sounds like he dumped more money than he should have into this place.
Well, he built all of it by hand.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, Brian.
A bit much. And so that was just a big thing. I just want to know about the financing.
Categorizing or promoting, marketing your hotel as a Christmas hotel is fine and dandy around Christmas time. Can I throw an idea at you? And this might sound crazy. I don't know. Maybe market the fact that your inn has an observatory.
Bingo!
Yeah.
Dude, that was going to be one of mine.
Have we thought about it? Have we invested money into this? Have we thought about using the observatory that gets you a view of Neptune?
Yeah.
You're in Alaska. You've got crazy stars. Maybe just market that.
It's a beautiful corn room observatory.
That's exactly right.
The most beautiful.
Did it ever cross anyone's mind?
Yeah.
To maybe just market the observatory?
Because mine was, hey, it's 2 days before Christmas. You're marketing the inn as a Christmas inn. In January, you are still broke.
Yes.
No one is coming.
Yeah.
But if it's a solar observatory and you're having one of those Alaska warm winters, you can maybe
Easy
make a
peasy.
few coin all year.
Absolutely.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan, do you got any more?
That was it.
Okay. We did, everybody. Congratulations. Guess what? Week's just getting started. 3 more movies to review this week and 3 more days to do it, which is convenient.
That works out.
So, good on us. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. Until then, maybe the first wish you a Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark is the That Sounds Fun podcast. It's produced by Tracy Noah's name. It's recorded live in that Greenville, South Carolina. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com.